Good morning, everyone, and thank you. It is TGFI or TGIF, I should say. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap. It is Friday, May the 12th, 2017. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. And yes, as we say every day, we do create multiple hypotheses. We have our Hypo 1 and our Hypo 2, which are two main hypotheses, and then we have our Hypo 3 and Hypo 4, which are our extension hypothesis. We create multiple hypotheses not to hedge our bets, but to have a plan in place as we do not know what the market's going to do on that open during the session. All we can do is have a plan in place and ready to execute once the market shows us what it is doing. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to session during the pre-market, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized trading environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, let's take a look at the news first. We did have news at 8:30 Eastern Time. These are all Eastern Times. We had CPI came out less than expected. We had core CPI came out less than expected. We had retail sales came out less than expected. And we had retail sales came out less than expected. Not really good. You know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good. In about 13 minutes, we've got Fed member Evans speaking. I mean, it's pretty much, I think, locked in. And nothing's locked in 100%, but, you know, the odds makers are saying that we are going to get a rate hike in June. So I don't know if anything Evans says is going to move the market, but just be aware that he is speaking. Then at 10 o'clock, we have University of Michigan consumer sentiments and inflation expectations, and then we have business inventories. Those are medium, news events. And then we've got FOMC member Harker speaking. So that's all the scheduled news today. Of course, we've got all kinds of headline news, and they can't stop talking about Comey. Oh, look at that. Huge push up here in the ES. Take a look at yesterday. Now, yesterday was a good example of why we have multiple hypotheses, because we opened auction in range. We had an open test drive. We tested right to the value area low, and then we had a drive, and had a beautiful 11 and a quarter point move. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I wasn't able to trade this because I had some chart issues with my internals that had me focusing on trying to get that up and running. I can't believe I missed the best trade of the day. Then we had the FUBAR Mr. Sneaky. We get a 3 3/4 point rotation. It did hit the primary goal of the 9 EMA and then started selling off again. And our Hypo 3 was this particular hypo. We had it going to the main target down here, to first the daily ATR downside target, which was 81, and then down to 78 and a quarter, and our extended target was at 74.50, key line in the sand. They didn't quite get to the 78 and a quarter, but to me, this completed, Hypo 3. Then we got another Mr. Sneaky, and this, of course, was the trade of the day. If you would have stayed, I got in. My best entry here was 79.50, and unfortunately, I didn't hang on to it. The reason I didn't hang on to it is because they put in this double bottom here, and I was expecting the IB low to be played out, and I was still in Hypo 3 looking for the extension down to that 78 8.25 and that 74.50 key line in the sand. But as the market can do, what did they do? The buyers stepped in, okay, and rotated us up. At this point in time, we had put in a couple zipper measured moves to the upside, and we were talking about the fact that we had a zipper measured move to 89.25 primary target on the first one, and then we had a secondary target of 92.50. And I said, if we get inside of the prior day range, which we've been doing a lot of lately, look for them to come up and test that LVN, the key, which was our over-under line, which was the LVN between the double distribution day on Wednesday. And we got that. That was beautiful. My best entry on that, best exit on that was 93. And then I was looking for a rotation back down to hold the low and then push back up into that 93.50 and break through into the end of the session and come up into the naked close and the naked VPOC. Unfortunately, it didn't make it. It stalled out at 93 again, and I ended up closing it out at 91.25 or something like that. I was trying to run it into the close. I've done that the last 2 days. They're just not getting the extension on the end. But all in all, not a bad trading day. Again, if you would have got long and held on to this, it would have been the trade of the day. Or, of course, this move down was also a very good trade. Okay, taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day. I use my paper money for doing my homework, and we use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. We're looking for slope and separation. We're looking for strength of the trend, where we have any candlestick or chart patterns or where the trends are being challenged within the different time frames. I start with the monthly, work my way down. Monthly, don't need to talk about it too much. Very strong trend, not even close to being violated. Weekly, same thing, gap up, continue to move up. Now, one of the key things we got to look at today is critical mass, because our week open is 2402, 2402.50, and our daily ATR is running at 1489. We're back under that 15 points again, which means we're about to get another breakout. But if I take the 1489 off of that open of the week, our critical mass, okay, this week is going to be 2387.50. And what that means is critical mass is the inability for the participants to have a chance at the open. So you have the bears and you have the bulls, and you're going to have a bearish week or a bullish week. And a lot of times, if you get more than one ATR away from the open on that last day, you'll get what they call critical mass kick in, and there's no way that the bulls can make it a positive week, so they basically step aside, and then the bears take over and push it into the close. So we have to pay attention to that 87.50. The other thing that's very important about that 87.50, and I would even think that 87 is probably the better number to use, because that 87, let me just bring up my composite. The composite, okay, is the value area low of this 8-day profile that we broke out of. Now you can see that I've put a black profile in here that encompasses the two profiles, and the reason I've done that, and actually I meant to take this one off there. The reason I've done that is because of the fact that this day right here, yesterday, traveled the full length of the value of this profile. So I have to blend these because I want to know what's, we have between the two, if I take this black one off, and let me just do that. Between the two profiles, we have a microcomposite VPOC here at 83.50, and up here we've got a microcomposite at the 94.75. But I want to know, okay, out of all of this, okay, what's the most traded price, where the value areas are, and how it encompasses the two different profiles based on this flush yesterday. So we went down, we basically traveled right down through value of this profile. They found the buyers again, and they rotated up, and they closed in this value. So we have overlapping value. So I overlap the two profiles. I don't take them off because I want to know individually where where we're at in those balance areas. But this day brings this 8-day profile back into focus to see, okay, are we going to create a double distribution, okay, on a larger time frame, which it looks like we're going to do, and where are my value area levels? Just wanted to explain that as I was thinking about it. Okay, so weekly is intact. Daily, you can see that we broke down below the 9 yesterday, yesterday and last night, and we've now popped up and we're sitting right on top of the 9 again. So we are getting some weakness coming in. We still have that naked cross down here at 49.75. Don't think that's going to come into play. Remember, it's a daily time frame. Going to the intraday, you can clearly see that we we talked about the fact that we were starting a downward trend yesterday in yesterday's pre-market session, and we're getting the acceleration, but we are coming up and challenging it right now. Going to the 1 hour, we're in the downtrend, and now they've taken back and challenged it, and we got the possibility of the start of an upward trend. We still have the naked cross up here at the 94 area, and that's right back near that microcomposite VPOC. We couldn't get through the double distribution LVN at 93.50 yesterday, but if we do get through, we're still targeting up there in the 94.75 area. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that we are above the 9 and the 20, and we're starting the possible upward trend. We did just take out this naked VPOC that we put in earlier, in the RTH session, so we could see some upward movement still with the 30-minute, and then the 5-minute. We have a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky technical gap. I would be looking for a move back towards the 88, 89 area. Probably get closed out in around 88.50. But it is an upward trend. And that's actually not is that a valid cup and handle? It looks like it's already been played out. Let me just measure it. It was valid. And did we play it out is what I want to know. Yeah, we've hit the primary target. The 100% extension is up at 91. So the primary target's hit, the extended target is not. All right, going back to the composite and looking at the structure. So we're in this area right here. We're above the over-under line at 89, and we're just chopping around in this area. The value area, that 87, is still very important. If we get below the 87, look for the rotation back to the 83.50 again. And of course, the new microcomposite VPOC running from the gap up day of the April 25th. That is 84. This area is going to be kind of a slush area between 87 and 91 as they fight this LVN. But above 91, I'd be looking for a push-up to test that 93.50 again and target in front of it, the 92.75. If we can get through the 93.50, look for them to go up and take out that naked VPOC and naked close from Wednesday that is up at the 95 and a quarter and 95. Anything above that, look for the 97.50 and a breakout into the 2400. Below the 87, down to 83. Watch the 80, but I'd be watching the low from yesterday. That's our new week low down there at 79. And did we put a lower low in overnight? Let me just check. No, we did not. Okay, so let's take a look at the Globex session. Inventory is 100% net short. So if we get back above the 91 area, okay, all the shorts that got short in the Globex or in the hole are going to get squeezed, and then I'd be looking for that push up into the 93. We have yesterday's naked VPOC at 91.75, but I'd be looking for them to come up to that 93 and push through, that 93.50 up into the 94 area. Overnight high. Our overnight high is 91 and a quarter. Our overnight low is 84 and a quarter. I also want to point out that we have tight ranges with a lot of OTF participation. Okay, this is a predecessor of another major move. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but when you start seeing heavy activity in the Globex and your ATRs, your average true ranges, are compressing, that is going to lead to a breakout, and you want to be careful and do not get stubborn if it goes against you. We had a false breakout yesterday. I'll talk about that in a minute. So our VPOC is not likely to change. It's 87. And pretty toothy. We've got a little bit of a LVN here at 88. That's about all the information that I can glean from the overnight session. Let's just have this for reference. Yesterday we had a bit of a double distribution, although it was very boxy. So right here at the 86 and a quarter and 87, that's going to be a major level for me. In fact, I'm going to use this as my over-under line, because I think we're going to chop through that 91. I think we're going to chop through it several times. All right, and then we do have the 91, and it just happens to be the overnight high area and the naked VPOC from yesterday. So it's a little bit cluttered there. So I'm going to use just below it. I'm going to use this this 89. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use 89 and a quarter as a guide. And it's going to be difficult to get into a trade in this level, but if I find strong buying here, I'd be looking for them to push up into the 91. And then the other over-under line, if you want to call it, okay, is going to be the 93.50, and that's basically just above our high, one tick and two ticks above the value area high from yesterday. And then above that, it's all about coming up into the middle distribution. Let me just open this up so you can see the upper distribution from Wednesday and this 95. Then 97, that value area high up here, 97 and a quarter, and the range high from Wednesday, and then a push through into the week high at 2400. Our upside daily ATR off of the low overnight, our overnight low is 84 and a quarter. Was it 84 and a quarter or 84.50? 84 and a quarter. Okay, plus the 1489. So our daily upside ATR target is 99 and a quarter. Okay, and off of the high overnight of 91 and a quarter, our daily downside ATR target is 76. Where is our daily downside target? Oh, well, I'll just reference it. What did I say, 76? 76.50. Okay, and then below major target is 83.50, and then below the 83.50 we got to pay attention to the 80.50 and a run to the 79. I don't think 79 can hold, so I'm not going to use it as a trade level, and I'll be targeting the 77.75, just in front of the daily downside target. All right, so there's the levels. Key line in the sand is still 74.50. In terms of we do have a new weekly low, so 23.79, and we have a weekly ATR of 34.35. So our weekly ATR changes and comes down to 24.13 and a quarter. Okay, and then our critical mass, okay, we have to note that because we're going to be paying attention to that. Our critical mass is basically 87.50. I'm just going to, in the early parts of the day, I'm not going to pay much attention to it because we're likely going to get, we could get below it and then bounce back up. But as the session moves on, I'm going to be quite aware of where we are in relation to this price. Okay, so what is my main hypothesis? Hypo 1 and Hypo 2 are going to have equal opportunities again because of the type of action that we get. We do have to be very aware of the fact that we have this huge wick right here. So we could get stuck in this wick today. I want everybody to understand that it was not properly auctioned, and we could come back and chop around and spend the whole day inside of this wick. My main hypothesis, though, is a open auction in range, in value, a move down to test the 87 area, find responsive buyers, rotate us up through, push through to the 93.50, chop between 90 and 93.50, and then push up into the 93.50, chop around here, and then try a late day probe, okay, up towards that 2400. Don't know if we're going to get there. We could have a tight range. We could drift into the close. It's hard to say yet. My secondary hypothesis, which is again equal weighted today, is an open auction in range, a push up, either a failure to get through that 93.50 or a pop up into the 95 area, find responsive sellers and rotate us down through, okay, and getting stuck in this wick and chopping basically between 83 and 91 for most of the day with basically sideways direction. My hypo 3, with the strong buying that has come in, would be an open test drive, failure to take out the overnight low, hold the 87, get a driving open, come up, take out that 95 right away, okay, chop around here, and then push up through and go up and break the week high at the 2400 and push up into the new all-time high and a break of the 2403.75, which we put in on Sunday night, possibly even up into the rule of 10. That is hypo 3. And then hypo 4 is an open auction in range, a push up into the 93.50, a false breakout, rotate down, okay, chop around the 89 to 87, and then fail again and get a trend slow grind down towards the 75 area, 75 to 78, and close at the low of yesterday or a new low, and put a new low in towards that 74.50. Those are my 4 main hypotheses. Taking a quick look at gold. We did not get the VPOC, the composite VPOC shift. We rotated, we got above that 25.60, and we pushed in the overnight, and we're back up in this area right here, chopping around this microcomposite VPOC at 28.70 area. I expect to see more chop on this today, possibly a push up into the 36.80 area. Anything above 39, look for the 43, 44 area. I doubt we're going to get above 45.80. Expecting rotation on gold with an upward skew. That will change if we get below 25.60. Below 25.60, then I'd be looking for a move back into that 21 area and back to where the composite VPOC was when we started this move up, and then shifted on the way back down. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.